The fuck is good, guys? Steezy back up in this bitch. I know it's been a while. For a long ass time, I haven't been really keeping up with the podcast. Truthfully, one, I kind of just been sleeping. Two, to be honest, I didn't like where I was doing my first set of videos at. It was just kind of like in a corner in my room, and it was very awkward getting like the camera set up and everywhere. Like, it was just weird. Anyway, I got a whole fucking room now. I got a whole studio, so I can do whatever the fuck I want now. Kind of happy about that. But yeah, man, we're gonna snap back right into it like I never fucking took a break, man. We gotta talk about what happened this weekend. UFC 242, Abu Dhabi. Possibly one of the most anticipated fights in a while. Like, people wanted to see Khabib fight again ever since he fucking murked Conor. People just wanted to see how he would do in his next fights, you know, defending the title. And he did just that, man. He straight up dominated Dustin Poirier, man. It was kind of sad because, I don't know, man, the whole lead up to the fight, Dustin seemed super, super confident in himself. And it's like, all right, nah, you could be confident all you want, but it's still like, I don't even know if he himself believed that he could actually beat Khabib. Like, and I'm not trying to say that to be a fucking dick or anything, but it's like, to me, going into this fight, I thought this would be like one of Khabib's easiest fights. I didn't see Dustin Poirier as a big threat to Khabib. Yeah, he has good stand-up, but his groundwork is not that fucking great. Compared to a lot of people that Khabib has fought, his groundwork is not that great. Conor's takedown defense was better than fucking Dustin Poirier's, kind of. But yeah, man, that fight was just fucking insane. First round, they're both feeling it out until Khabib gets comfortable and just fucking takes him down. Start doing a little bit of ground and pound. What really had me though on the second round, was it the second round? No, third round. Before he got choked out, Dustin Poirier had him in a fucking guillotine. I know everybody saw that. I was like, fuck. He's gonna tap. And this motherfucker just stayed in there, kind of rolled, went back in, and eventually popped his head out, which was fucking crazy. Popped his head out, and then like 30 seconds later, choked the fuck out of Dustin Poirier out. I was just watching an interview of Javier Mendez. He was on Ariel. They were talking about Khabib's win or whatever. Ariel had asked him, hey, like, were you a bit worried or were you a bit scared or whatever? Like, when you saw Dustin Poirier get Khabib in a guillotine in that third round? And fucking Mendez I was laughing. Whatever. But it's crazy. He said that during training camp, he was fighting this like Division I champion, and he had Khabib in a choke, and he thought Khabib was gonna tap and get choked out. And he made this joke about how he almost whipped out his cell phone to record it, like, haha, sucker, like, you said you never tap, but you just tap, blah, blah, blah. But supposedly Khabib kept his composure, just relaxed, and eventually just popped his head out again. But it was crazy, man. That fight was just like, in the second round where Khabib got rocked a little bit, that was a little bit trivial too. But still though, man, great fight. Me personally, going into that fight, I knew that Dustin Poirier was not that big of a threat to Khabib. Like, I thought Khabib was gonna win pretty easily. Not easily, but I thought Khabib was gonna dominate and win, just like he always does. But yeah, this is great. So now this fucking opens up Ferguson versus Khabib, if that fucking works out. I think that fight was supposed to happen already like 4 times, and yeah, just kept on falling through every single time. But that's what Dana White is saying. That's what a lot of people are saying, and it's only true, man. This motherfucker Tony Ferguson has 12 straight wins in the UFC, and as far as Khabib goes, he's 12-0 undefeated in the UFC. 28-0 in general, 12-0 undefeated in the UFC. So, me personally, I didn't even feel Dustin Poirier really deserved that chance yet. I mean, we didn't see Dustin Poirier versus fucking Tony Ferguson, you know? Like, I feel like they should have fought before. And then, you know, winner gets Khabib. That's how I kind of feel like it should have been. Because everybody knows Tony Ferguson was the interim champ way before all these motherfuckers. And he just fucking lost it. He had an injury. Understandable. Understandable. He had an injury. He had to get treatment for the injury. He was going to take a lot of time out. Understandable. Fucking vacate. Whatever. But now we might possibly see what should have happened in the first place. Well, not in the first place, but you know what I mean. Tony Ferguson versus Khabib. And that fight is interesting to me too, because Tony Ferguson is just he's so wild, man. Like, he's so like, he's like a type of Nate Diaz kind of guy. Like, he'll get fucked up, he'll get hit, and still keep on coming at you. He does not give a fuck. Like, he'll be bloody as dick, and he'll still be coming at your neck. And I feel like Khabib isn't used to fighting somebody like that. But here's the thing. To me, when I see Khabib fight, look at when he fought Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor was like more on the defensive. He fought defensively. Same thing with Dustin Poirier. Same thing almost with Edson Barboza. Like, Edson Barboza has moments, but Khabib puts so much pressure on people that they don't fight how they typically fight. A lot of these fighters at 155, there's really nobody like Khabib. Nobody is going to be dominant on the ground. Nobody's going to be just fighting for their life to take you on the ground like Khabib does. And I feel like a lot of these fighters at 155, they're so used to just striking it out first, not really going to the ground, not really defending too many takedowns. It's mostly just kickboxing. That's kind of what they're all used to. But Khabib just brings that whole different dynamic. He's good on the feet, and he'll take you the fuck down and smash your face to the canvas. So to break this fight down a little bit more, how I see it, like, Tony Ferguson is good on his back, right? And and to me, I don't see Tony Ferguson taking Khabib down. Like, I just don't see that. I do see Khabib taking Tony Ferguson down, but he has to be careful because, like I said, Tony Ferguson is good from the back. Those fucking elbows, I have a feeling if they do fight, and when they do fight, they have to fight. Khabib is most likely going to get a little bit bloody. He's going to get cut up. He's going to get a little bit of blood in his face. Tony Ferguson just does that. That's if Tony Ferguson fights like Tony Ferguson. If he gets that syndrome where he's like, oh, fuck, Khabib has so much pressure, let me just be on the fucking defensive, then that's a different story. But still highly probable. You just can't kind of gauge those kind of things. So with that being said, it's like, again, it's a fight. You can't really predict anything could happen in a fight, but I don't know. I see Khabib being the more dominant in that fight. There are variables to take into account, man. Tony Ferguson's gas tank is fucking ridiculous. His stamina's crazy, and he just does not give a fuck. He'll keep on going. But so is Khabib. Khabib doesn't give a single fuck either, man. I feel like Khabib has that like fucking Russian retard with Down syndrome superhuman strength sometimes. Like, he's just a fucking weirdo, man. He's a little fucking minion. And him too, he won't stop coming at you. He'll keep on putting that pressure. But like, anything can happen in a fight, but man, right now I see Khabib being undefeated for a very long time. After he gets done with Tony Ferguson, which I believe he will win that fight, who else is going to be a big threat to Khabib? Like, you're going to need somebody who's fucking great at wrestling, great at like, super good at stand-up and super good at takedown defense, and super good at wrestling too. Someone like GSP. If GSP came back, I feel like that would be his toughest competition, but I don't see that motherfucker coming back. GSP's retired as fuck. They couldn't work out a deal, so I don't see that fight ever happening. So apart from Tony Ferguson, what what is Khabib's biggest threat? You guys let me know. Comment down below. Let me know what Khabib's biggest threat is, because right now I don't know. I do see Tony Ferguson as a bigger threat than Dustin Poirier, obviously, but dude, who the fuck knows, man? And they're also talking about if Tony Ferguson doesn't make the fight, Conor McGregor's up next. First of all, fuck Conor McGregor. Just fuck Conor McGregor. I'm not even interested in seeing him fight for the title. I really want to see him come back, beat maybe one or two guys, and then get a shot at the title again. Like, he has to put in some work. To me, he's lost his last 4 fights. Nate Diaz 1, got choked the fuck out, right? Nate Diaz 2, the rematch. He won by decision, but arguably you can say that Nate Diaz won the last 3 rounds. That's very arguable, right? Fucking, he goes to fight the best boxer in the fucking planet, Floyd Mayweather, gets fucking humiliated. And for those who are saying, oh, he made it so many rounds with Floyd Mayweather, oh my god, his boxing is underrated. First of all, Mayweather did not do shit the first round. He literally stood there just in front of his face, walking him down, making him get fucking tired. That was his plan all along. Mayweather didn't start throwing any decent punches till like the 7th round. Mayweather like walked into that fight so casually without a single fuck given. So for people saying that people want to give Conor like the credibility that he's a good boxer just because of that fight with Conor McGregor and he lasted those amount of rounds, like Conor McGregor just played Floyd Mayweather just played with Conor McGregor that entire fight. Okay? Boom. So to me, that's 3 losses right there. Comes back to the UFC to fight fucking Khabib. Okay? What the fuck happens? What the fuck happens? Gets choked out in the 4th round. Alright, so to me, yes, he's a big fucking name in the UFC. He's the biggest name, one of the biggest names in fighting, period. But let's be real, man. It's all about the best fighting the best. We found out Conor McGregor is not the best. Yeah, at one point he was a fucking he was a double champ at one point, 145, 155. But it's kind of like, I don't want to be disrespectful when I say this, but it's almost like a Ronda Rousey, right? You're fighting good competition, right? You're winning, you're fighting good competition, you become champ, whatever. Then you fight somebody that's actually really fucking good and you get your shit fucked up. Like, for example, Holly Holm fucked up Ronda Rousey until Ronda Rousey was doing fucking great with all these fucking whatever people she was fighting. But until she fought somebody that knows how to fucking fight, you saw what the fuck it was. And I feel like it's the same thing with Khabib and Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, don't get me wrong, he's phenomenal in the stand-up. But until he fought somebody that's fucking crazily well-rounded like Khabib is, then you saw what the fuck was good. So yeah, man, like, it's gonna be interesting to see that fight coming up. But regardless, there's so many good fights coming up. It's ridiculous. Like, we are in the era where we're literally watching the best fights right now. Like, the best are fighting the best, and in this era, we have the greatest fighters to ever exist. Like, you look back to 10 years ago, a lot of the fighters were very one-dimensional. Like, look at the first few UFC fights. All the fighters were very, very one-dimensional. Like, nobody was fucking, like, as diverse as a lot of these guys are, man. Like, you can't say 10, 15 years ago, there was somebody like Tony Ferguson. There was somebody like McGregor. There was somebody like Khabib. There was somebody like John Jones. There was somebody like fucking Ngannou, Stipe. Like, we are living in the era of the best fighters to ever walk this earth. And with that being said, we're only going to get these crazy fucking fights, and they're only going to get better. As soon as, you know, the more we go on, it's just going to get better. So with that being said, man, so many great fights. I don't even know where to fucking begin, man. But earlier, I was looking into the Kelvin Gastelum versus Darren Till fight. Darren Till is moving up to fucking middleweight, which he should. He was killing himself to make 170. It makes sense. But big fucking mistake. I don't think he's going to get through Gastelum, to be honest. Kelvin Gastelum is a true 185er, right? True 185er. He's a big fucking guy. And he's a tank, bro. He's a tank. It's like you can kind of almost go back to the Adesanya fight. How tough he gave that fight to Adesanya. How tough he made that fight for Adesanya. Bubbled his fucking lips, bubbled his face. He did get dropped a few times, but it's like I don't see Darren Till being anywhere nearly as good as Adesanya, and we saw how tough that Adesanya versus Kelvin Gastelum fight was. So now take Kelvin Gastelum versus a Darren Till that's going to be fighting at 185 for the first time. I don't know, man. It seems good on paper because Darren Till's young, he's good, he's fucking hungry. He's fucking hungry, mate. He's from Liverpool. But I don't know, man. I don't see it going in the favor of Darren Till. Like once you kind of see it where fighters they lose a fight, they might lose 2 fights, and then they change weight. It's like, are you like nervous? Are you like looking for another way out kind of thing? It's like, all right, you already lost enough fights in one division. You know you're not going to become champ in one division. So do they move because they want an opportunity to become champion in another division? Possibly. We saw that with fucking Pettis recently. And he just got destroyed all over. So I feel like the same thing could possibly happen to Darren Till. So anyway, more MMA podcasts coming up. This was a little refresh. Just got the new studio. I'll be back here. I'll be putting in more work. This was on the fly type shit. But we'll be getting into more detail, more hardcore detail on some other stuff. We'll be talking MMA. We'll be talking hip hop. We'll be talking about politics sometimes. We'll be talking about just anything that comes to mind, anything that's interesting, bro. Like mass shootings. We'll talk about all that shit. All right. So I'm back. Expect more content on the way. Fuck Paul Felder. Barboza should have won that fight. Anyway, Steezy, I'm out. Peace.